I wanted to talk about
We can talk about whatever you want to talk about.
stock versus tuned.
Is that what you want to talk about?
We're going to set that right there.
Okay.
I kind of do.
Okay.
Should I ask my chat GPT what's okay to say and what's not okay to say?
No.
Okay. Because I just don't want to say anything that, triggers.
Don't name any names.
I won't name a name.
Don't name any vehicles.
Right.
It was a Dodge.
Yeah. What about Lucas?
What about Lucas?
Lucas Underwood.
What about him?
He was talking. He did a little skit. I think it was from one of his podcasts. Maybe it wasn't. I don't know. But he says, performance and tuning in a stock shop will break that. It can break that shop very easily, and I think that's 100% true. Like, unless you have the money.
Oh, I think it was one of those ones you sent to me, and it was too long, and I was like, I can't fast forward this.
Yeah. Oh, maybe, huh? Unless you have the money, right? Like when I was like 17, my dad, he was a GM tech in 66. He says, Daniel, if you go putting a cam in that small block Chevy and tuning it out of the ordinary, he says, you will end up tuning and playing with that thing and fixing it. You won't get to drive it. And boy, was he right. That's all I ever did was work on that damn car.
Yes, well, and when we had our group, it was just our composite partner, so it was just the other two. It wasn't the whole group.
Yeah.
And we were talking about that at that point. And even they, who are New Mexico and Utah, they're not even in Idaho, right?
Yeah.
They're like, don't do it. And one of them is a specialty. Like, that's all he does is Subarus, and he tunes them and everything. And he's like, don't do it.
Right.
So, like, he is that shop that works on that, like, beefs them up, you know, and makes them go faster or whatever.
Yep.
But let's rewind. And for those people who are like me, who watch the podcast because they watch us, what's a tune?
A tune, I guess we could go old school, and we have a carbureted engine that makes it very simple. We have a toilet bowl, right? Just imagine a toilet. And
Why am I
straight up, that's a carburetor.
Okay.
So the bowl fills up.
Okay.
So gas comes in, fills that bowl, and then there's a float in that carburetor, just like a toilet.
Okay. Oh, you mean the tank, not the bowl.
The tank, yes.
Okay.
The tank. Okay.
Got it.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
The bowl. You're right. My bad. So we have a tank.
Okay.
We have a tank that fills up, and that creates
and there's a float.
The flush, right? And then when it's done, the water level fills back up to a certain amount and stops it from flooding or whatnot. Same with a carburetor.
Okay.
So we modify that, either jetting, tuning, fuel injectors, but say we're back to a carburetor. Let's make it super simple, and we flush that toilet. Now we're putting a bigger drain in there, and making more water flow through. And we're gonna go like Tim the Toolman. Right? We're gonna make a super toilet. Same thing with a carburetor, but everything has to be modified to accept that and help it work correctly. So when you do one thing, it's a chain effect.
So you have to rip apart the walls to make the pipes and the walls bigger to modify the toilet.
Totally.
So it can flush faster?
Yep. Right. So we want to go down that track faster, or we want to be faster, right? When we have these newer engines.
So, why don't you recommend doing it to your daily driver? Because, you've got all these YouTube mechanics now.
Yeah.
And I mean, Elena and I talked about it this one, last time this guy came in with his air ride suspension system. And he was very, very adamant on what went wrong.
And what should have been replaced.
Because he found it on the internet.
Right.
Fine, great. I'm on board, as I've always been, about teaching yourself and educating yourself and having that knowledge. That's great. But you also have to have a little bit of trust in the expert who spends 10 hours a day for the last 30 years doing this versus somebody you just watched 20 minutes of on the internet, or somebody behind the keyboard warrior, because the keyboard warriors are rampant out there. So Why don't I want to tune my daily driver?
Okay.
Because I want
you
to
had
race
me
people
going down
on the
that
freeway.
rabbit hole with the
I
guy in
know.
the air system.
Sorry.
But let's go back to tuning and why it's not a good idea. As Lucas said, you know, the manufacturers have enough problems as it is
Like
to
GM
make
right
these
now?
things work the way they were designed, right?
Like GM and their engines and
Yep.
transmissions?
Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong. They're recalling how many millions of cars?
Yep. Now let's go take all of these aftermarket tuners. We have countless guys getting behind a laptop and sending you a tune to a device you plug in, and it's within tolerance. This will make it just a tow tune. Okay. Figure out an engine has fuel and oxygen that has to combust in that cylinder, and say a typical cylinder is 180 psi just on crank and compression. Now add 10 pounds of boost with volume and pressure that increases, you know, your thousands psi range, right? So we increase that by 2 or 3 pounds, and it's outside of the manufacturers what's saying, I'm already pushing this engine pretty hard. We got 400 horse on a stock turboed engine that came from the manufacturer, and that's already not going to last because...
Was that the police interceptors? What were you getting on the police interceptors?
Yeah, the police interceptor on a good takeoff on that truck, on that vehicle, was around 13 psi, and
that's a police interceptor.
Yep, they're going to move, right?
Yeah, they're meant to go after people.
They're
meant to catch you.
Yes, and that was from a senior master technician that gave us that data.
13 psi.
Yep, 13 psi.
They don't come stock. They have to modify that for those cars.
And I'm sure it would have went more, right? So wide open throttle on our son's vehicle, which is the same exact rig. I think he got like 10 to 12, and that was us out pushing it hard. Now towing is a different thing because they're going to put out a little bit more, but typically spikes around. You might see weird peaks and spikes around 18 psi on that one, but you know, to just go out and put it to the floor and monitor it 22 to 23 psi, now tow a hill or tow something, and it's going to put out more boost because it's you know, and there's no real specification. You heard that master senior technician. He says there is no, because if Ford does that or whoever does that and puts a cap right here, it's going to cause so many people to go after Ford. So they don't do that. They don't put an exact number, but if you go off of 100 different vehicles, the most it's seen at a weird spike, I think he's seen 18 psi. And that was like the highest they'd seen on a stock.
Well, yeah, they're not going to give you a baseline number because they don't want to be held liable if something goes wrong in their engine, right? So, yeah, whatever. But
exactly.
You still didn't. So why don't I want to tune my daily driver?
It takes that reliability and puts it in the toilet. I mean, they're already horrible. There's so many repairs that we have to do to all these vehicles in the first place.
So what does it tune? What does it do internally to my engine? Why is it bad? Like, yes, I'm creating more pressure from the fluid that has to go into the engine, right? But I mean, a toilet tank is very simple versus an engine that's super complex. So by adding this extra pressure from the fluid coming in, whatever it is, I don't know, because we were just talking, I don't really care about cars, but what is that doing internally to the rest of the components surrounding and whatever it's coming in from?
Right. So say we have the piston going up and down the cylinder wall, and so much pressure is created between those two pieces, the top of the piston, the cylinder head, and the bore in there. Now we double the pressure. We're going to blow the cylinder wall out. We're going to blow rings out. And then if not, worse, you know, the least case, we're going to distort the engine to where it's kind of shaking things apart, and that engine will never seal again correctly. Like, you'll keep chasing the leaks and going, oh gosh, what did I do? So
we're talking the block itself.
The block, the head.
Not okay. That's what I was wondering. Like, where else? Like, so the block itself.
Right.
where
So,
everybody sees all the, like on your
yeah.
logo itself, right?
Yeah, the
So
pistons going up and down, right?
right? I know. Did you see this?
Yeah. Yeah, that was awesome.
But that's what I mean. Like on your logo itself, like if you get somebody who doesn't, again, because we have a variety of people who listen, right? So you might have somebody
Right.
who doesn't understand cars at all
Right.
because they're listening because they want to know the background or whatever it is.
Right.
They're listening to know us. The pistons are the little circles in the block. There's what, 6, 8, 4,
Whatever it
whatever,
may be,
right? And
Yep.
those are and so what do those do inside the block?
So imagine, our piston logo, right?
That's
One's
one, yeah.
going this way, one's going this way. Say that's a V6 or a V8. And just remember, they have to stagger because they can't be on the same. They'll hit each other basically, right? So they have to stagger them a little bit, and they go up and down. So now there's little inside the bearings. There's called a thrust bearing, and it's like the width of the hair of a hair thrust plate. Because when you take off, the assembly shifts back. So if we don't have that thrust bearing in there to keep everything aligned so it doesn't come by and cross hit, that's why when you hear an engine knocking, you're going clank, 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 because the rods are actually hitting, the bearings are gone. And what will happen is when you take off, if we increase that boost and that pressure and all of everything with it, everything starts shifting. That's why operating temperature on an engine, they did a study. It was a test. Many manufacturers have done this, and if we don't get that engine warmed up, and it's not at operating temperature, the pistons aren't aligned in the bores, and there's massive excessive wear just by not letting your engine warm up to an operating temperature where the pistons expand inside the cylinder bore and everything fits perfect. The piston fit is loose when it's cold, and they're designed to expand and then heat up to operating temperature. Then you should be technically driving the vehicle. That was from my dad's 50s and 60s that I learned that from, right? And that still plays a huge part
I was
today.
going to say that hasn't evolved with technology.
It definitely has gotten better, but it still needs to be done because that loose piston fit, because if the aluminum's going to expand a lot faster than that cylinder wall, and it grows. And if it's too tight or too loose, you get like on the LSs, when they're loose, you'll hear a lot of people that listen to this go, yeah, I've heard my LS when it's cold, it makes a weird engine noise. That's loose piston fit. And a lot of LSs do it, but they will last freaking forever. So if it's too tight, they'll expand and seize up. And back in the day, that was considered, when you're running on a hot day and the engine warms up and then it kind of hydro locks, vapor locks, they call it. A lot of people will use that term vapor lock. That's more than likely because the piston fit wasn't machined correctly and it's running too hot, and they'll just lock up and seize up, and they won't crank over, and then they'll let it cool down and it'll be fine. It'll start right up. So no, they haven't gotten much better with that. No. I guess from the 60s and 70s, I don't know.
So then basically if I tune my car and I influx more pressure from the fluid, what fluid is it? Is it gas?
It's AFR, Stoich, fuel and air mixture.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
With the turbo that's pressuring all of that gas.
You were talking to me about a carburetor. I understand a carburetor.
Yeah.
So it's gas.
You can even, gas, air and fuel.
So if I overdo it on my tune, it's only going to mess with my pistons and rings.
That's your whole assembly, right?
Right. I understand. I understand that's my whole bottom end.
Right. Because it's putting, as it blows that piston up to force it down to create the momentum or the force, or however we want to say that, the power, right?
I guess I need a crayon drawing, I guess, in my head, because so now I'm just like in my head. And again, guys, I don't like cars. The gas, the air and gas is just an extra to it,
Yeah.
So how is that going to cause damage on something that's flat?
When it's already designed to run however the manufacturer has designed it to, and that was already a poor design that some do very well and some don't. And then we go some tuner, whatever they may be. I'm sure there's some great tuners, but once again, I do this for my
But a
personal.
professional,
Yes.
not a YouTube mechanic.
Right. Nope. And a professional wants to stick with stock because we know we have a lot less problems, but there's already enough problems right there in front of us. Dealing with a factory billion or $1 trillion design that have problems all day long. And then you get some aftermarket technician that probably in the first place says, I'm going to go race this. And I have a race car and I have my daily driver that I leave alone. And a lot of people have learned that. Some people still think you can mix that.
I can drive my race car.
Yeah. And I did it for 4 years with 1,000 horse with mine, but that was me like absorbed in this thing every day, you know? So a lot of people can get away with it for a while and they're really intelligent with it. You know, you can do it for quite some time, but we get 2 backyard mechanics at the do-it-yourself place that throw something together and go, oh my God, this thing's leaking worse than it ever has. What did you do? You know, I don't know. I don't recommend that. You know, just my thoughts, right?
Yeah, no.
A lot of people are doing that too, like you said. YouTube.
I know. You've got that, and that was me holding my foot, and they're pointing their finger at you. And reality was that was me putting my foot down, going, "Oh, I'm not taking on that liability.
Right.
You're done. You're done.
Yeah.
You done messed it up. You brought it to me. I fixed it, and I told you do this, and you didn't, and it's messed up.
Yeah.
That one's on you, dude."
Yeah, and we're trying to create the business to work more efficiently. And you see me putting my heart on my sleeve, getting ready to help. And you're like, no, stop.
No,
that's not right.
There's morals. I have morals,
yes.
and I will like if something was our fault. Yeah, 100%. I'll bring it back in, and I'll like let's fix it. But when I know that you didn't listen to me, and I told you do this or this, and that happened, then no, that's on you, dude.
Yeah. Because it's at a plug. That's why that senior master tech and all of the warranty companies like they will flag it if there's too big of tires on it, and there's nothing you're going to do about that in the warranty case. You can do it and say whatever you want.
Oh, I know. I've seen.
There's nothing we can do about it.
Warranties.
Yep. Aftermarket air filter.
Hate them. Well, it's just the tires. I bought the truck from the dealership that sold me the warranty.
Yep.
And I already had the big balloon trucks on it, or tires on it, on the truck.
Yep.
I bought the tires with the truck that I bought the warranty plate, and they're going to deny my claim when it was already, I bought it
the only
that
thing
way.
you can do with that is,
oh, I'd be pissed. But yes, I know.
There's warranty companies that will go, okay, so there's no, if you have proof and a picture that you bought that vehicle with those tires on it, we'll refund your
$4,000
warranty. Yeah, whatever you paid for, we can do that, but we're not going to cover that because you're out of your contract because there's different size tires on that. So you have to prove to us that you bought that. That's why I took a picture of my Ford from Lithia Ford with the 37s on it.
Well, and there was one company that I think it was one of the first ones that Elena dealt with. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
I don't remember the name of them. I have to remember the name of them. But they gave the customer a rental car for like 10 days and everything.
Oh, yeah. Huh?
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
They were super easy to work with.
There's some that are pretty decent. And you got to stay within those guidelines. Like if you tell them, I got to call my tuning department because... and it's like, oh, my God.
I know.
Did you just tell the warranty company
yes.
that?
Well, and who, right? So, I know. That one's a fun one. And I think that one's going to go on even for a little bit longer because there's still things going on Facebook even today. And I was like, somebody else said something. And then I read that the comment that somebody had said. So I looked that person up and I was like, huh. Because they were like, yeah, they did us wrong too. So I was like, all right, do I need to bring another one back in to make sure like we covered whatever we needed to cover?
Yeah.
At least give me a chance to make something right and don't just go blast me on the internet saying that I'm a piece of crap and that I didn't do anything. If you didn't come to me and say, hey, but it wasn't even any of that. It was, and I remember Somebody I dealt with again.
Today? You've seen
Yeah,
this?
this was on Facebook today, but it was, they did me dirty too, basically.
Wow.
And so I went and looked at who that was, you know,
Yeah.
because do I have to bring you in to take care of you to make sure that we take care of whatever went happened?
Right.
We brought him in December, and you might remember they came in with electrical issues. It was running weird. They could start it, couldn't start it, whatever, whatnot. They brought it in, paid for the diag.
Oh, yeah.
We diagnosed it,
Mm-hmm.
and then had our full inspection with pictures and estimate.
Yeah.
They declined everything.
Oh, yeah.
They paid for the diag.
Yeah.
So, and it was battery cables,
Mm.
the 2 battery cables, and then there was the battery harness that wrapped around the whole firewall.
Oh,
You know who
yeah.
I'm talking about now?
Yeah.
Well, they're saying we did them dirty, and I was like, how did we do you dirty? We gave you a full-on inspection.
Yeah.
You
Then they
took
went and
it.
did their own work.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
You
No.
denied everything from me. You paid
No.
for the $200 diagnosis. I gave you the diagnosis, and
Yeah.
then you left with it.
Yeah. That's when they go buy their parts off
How
of
did
Rock
I?
Auto.
Yeah, I know. How did I
or
do you
Amazon.
dirty, dude? I just
Yeah.
gave you your roadmap.
Yeah. That's a hard one too, right? It's like, oh man, yeah, that sucks. How do you deal with that when you diagnose it and they put junk parts in it? Right?
Well, I don't even know if that's what they did.
Right.
I just went and looked up because they said we did them dirty, and so I looked them up to make sure that if I needed to take care of somebody,
Right.
I could take care of that person.
It's a little chain of events that those certain people, birds of feather flock together. And
That's what Austin was saying, because he was the one who sent it to me. He's like, hey, Mom,
yeah.
showed me a screenshot, and I'm like, no. Are
Yeah.
we not over this yet?
Yeah. Right.
Are we
No, we need
serious
to be
right
over
now?
because there's they can.
Yeah. Well, and that's why I went down that, and I was looking at, like, who is this guy? Why? And if those, birds of a feather flock together,
Yeah.
and if that's what's going to happen, then, and the other thing, who was it? Somebody I look up to. I don't even know if, I don't remember who it was, but I have a feeling it's not even that they're very deep in the automotive world, but basically that everybody, so like if I went on to a Facebook group and said, looking for a mechanic,
Yeah.
and everybody tagging and posting and saying, me,
Yeah.
are not the mechanics you want working on your car.
No. Nope.
Those are usually the backyard,
Yeah.
gonna mess your junk up
Yeah.
type of mechanics, because they have not set up their proper way to run the business through marketing and word
Right.
of mouth and repeat
Right.
business. And
Well, I see lots of people once in a while try and, they'll looking for the great mechanic, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, I hope you find what you're looking for, right?
I know I have to walk away from all
Yeah.
those posts all the time, because I want to go on there and warn them.
Or somebody will tag me and I'm like, hey, here's savings. If you need some help, let us know. Right?
Yeah, if somebody tags you, I think it's a whole different thing. But it's they were saying, those basically are the ones like tagging themselves.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah, no. And I don't mind helping even if somebody tags me like,
you don't want the Facebook mechanics
yeah, no. I don't want to,
as a consumer.
be out there begging for work because once again, I don't want to quote against somebody who's buying Rock Auto parts or Amazon or AutoZone. We use
Or doesn't carry liability insurance or
Yeah.
have a warranty, or
Yep.
they're just somebody doing it on the side because they're trying to learn a trade.
Yep. Well, Austin, our oldest son, he did some work for a couple of guys, and there's a bunch of things wrong with the truck, had been tuned, and he was dealing with the same thing. The guy just badmouthed me every time I turn around. It's like, I'm like, I know you tried helping him, but sometimes, and it's hard to just walk away, and you did the best you could, and you kept trying to help out. But if he's in there, because all it takes is a tuner, you plug it in, you go 200 horse extra. Boom, that motor's done. Then you can pull it out, and nobody knows, right? Unless you got to kind of look at everything, go run numbers, go, oh my God. So that's a hard one. Look at Gage's truck. He's got that 2015 F-150, 0 oil leaks, and it only puts out like 8 to 10 psi boost, and it scoots really good, moves really good. So I almost want to detune it and like put a limiter on it because it's too fast for him. So that's a hard one to estimate over junk parts and argue about estimating and bids, and no, it's not the customer I want.
Yeah, no, it's not. Well, it's not. It's not even that. It's not even the customer. It's not that. I'm not going to compete against a backyard mechanic.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do I know that they're holding liability insurance? I don't think people realize how much insurance we have to carry.
Right.
And then we pay the one of the most expensive rates for workers' comp insurance for our employees, because it's not an if they're going to get hurt, it's a when.
Yeah.
Yep. My workers' comp, mine compared to yours,
Yeah.
was nothing.
Yeah.
I think I paid like $1 versus your $2.50. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It's crazy cheap compared to yours because of the industry. And then, and so if I'm a backyard mechanic, oh my gosh, it was like the mechanic fails the other day when I was watching it and I went like this in bed and you got scared and you yelled at me.
I was like, what?
Or no, you were driving.
Oh, yeah, when I was driving.
Yeah. And I was like,
I thought somebody was going to hit us.
Dude dropped a transmission on his head.
Oh, wow.
Like
Nice.
Underneath the car, fell
wow.
out on his head.
Oh, my God.
So now I'm wondering, and this was not it, this was for real. That's why I was like, so, okay, insurance right there. Did he just crush his skull? Did dude just die? Did he just, what just happened? Little things like that. Or the car, when you got run over by a car, that's going to take you out of work. Yeah. So are all these people posting me, raising their hands? Are they carrying the proper insurance and what? Yeah. And then I know it always turns into me with liability. I know it's when regulation and liability, that's just the way my brain goes. What happens if I go to work on your property at your house because I'm a mobile mechanic and I now hurt myself on your property? Do I get to sue your homeowner's insurance?
Yeah. Huh.
Did you did you as a homeowner just open up liability to yourself by calling in the mobile mechanic?
Yeah, I wonder how many times that's happened, huh? If that's, I'm sure it's happened, right? Sure.
Why not?
Huh.
If burglars can sue the homeowners for being locked in their home.
Yeah, that's true, huh? Oh, my goodness.
Why can't I, as a mobile mechanic working on your car, on your property, after I get hurt and I don't have the proper insurance on myself, sue you for your property insurance because I'm working on your property?
Yeah. Huh. I don't know. That could be really bad, huh?
I know. This is why I'm thinking people don't think about these things.
Yeah.
Maybe that's just my analytical brain going to all these places of like, that's too much liability and there needs to be.
Yeah.
Would you invite a surgeon into your home to operate on you?
Not in a sterile, you're not in a sterile environment, all that good jazz, huh?
I can bleach the crap out of my bathroom, but would you still invite a surgeon into your bathroom to operate on you?
No. I wouldn't do that. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So there's that for you.